Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Alex Slacky. I'm here representing AAA Northeast, which serves a membership of nearly 300,000 Nassau County residents. And I'm pleased to be here today and certainly gratified to hear that you're reconsidering the $105 public safety fee. I think that represents I hope an acknowledgement that that this is certainly bad public policy, and in the past it's been hard to stay on message with our opposition because, in honest, there are so many reasons why this is ill-conceived policy. You can make a letter from top 10 list, but I want to talk about one or two that we haven't discussed as much. And I think what was raised is about the legal concerns. I think that's certainly a concern of ours as well, because when you call it a fee, a public safety fee, that's a payment for a special service. But there's been plenty of court cases and comptroller opinions that have held that it doesn't matter what you call it, if it goes to fund general government services, which policing certainly is, then it's not a fee. It's a tax. Or when the county attorney said in Newsday that, quote, drivers could avoid the fee completely by the simple expediency of not breaking the law, that basically tells me, oh, this is a fine or a penalty. And if you violate the vehicle and traffic law, the state legislature sets those penalties. And I think with good reason. We don't want to go back to the days where every county had a different level of traffic fines, and the more predatory municipalities could crack down on drivers who are committing marginal infractions and raise money for themselves. So I really think if we were to pass this, it would set a bad precedent and take us back to those days. But before the Uniform Vehicle Traffic Code, and then every Tom, Dick, and Harry municipality, a little village anywhere in New York could do the same thing. I think that would be a bad precedent. And I hope that, especially with the parking fees, as has been mentioned, I think those are the especially egregious ones. I know that the Traffic and Parking Violations Agency may not be part of the judicial system per se, but I think it's part of the justice system more broadly construed. And I don't think anyone can sit here and say that charging someone $220 for being 5 or 6 minutes late to a parking meter represents justice. It's not justice, it's outrageous. And I'd urge you, I'm very glad to hear that you're reconsidering the fee, and I'd urge you to commit to not bringing it back because it's bad public policy, it's potentially illegal, and I would love to hear a firm commitment that this is not going to be in the budget. So I do appreciate your statement today, and I want to thank all the legislators for acknowledging the will of the voters and their opposition to this fee. And I'd like to thank you for having me here today.
You're welcome, Mr. Slatsky. All right, David Lofton.
Madam President, I'd just like to respond to
Minority Leader.
Good afternoon, everyone.
I'm sorry. Sir, hold on one second, sir. I just wanted to respond to Mr. Slatsky real quick. Obviously, we agree and concur with many of your points. However, look, I can just tell you how things have been over the last couple of years. The public would need that firm commitment today. The only way that firm commitment can be exercised is to call the public safety fee that's currently on their calendar for today and to simply vote it down. That will give everyone in this room the assurance that it will not go forward. Instead, I get a feeling that it won't be called, that it will be postponed to a November meeting, or maybe in December when the holidays start kicking around, and it will be voted on in the shadows of the dark. And to me, that is not openness or good government to try to do it that way. So I'm encouraging, not just you, Mr. Slatsky, but anyone who is here to talk about the $105 fee, to encourage the majority, the presiding officer is the only one that has the authority, to call it today. It sounds like to me there is some concern from the other side to vote it down. Join us. We would love to have your support in voting this down today. Thank you, but that I want to respond.
I would certainly appreciate knowing today that the fee is not going to happen, of course. The sooner we can get rid of the fee as an idea, the better. Thank you.
David Lofton.
Good afternoon again. My name is David Lofton, and I'm representing New York Communities for Change and also the Tenants Association of Hempstead. I'm here today because we have a large concern with our seniors in Hempstead with no backup generators in some of our apartment buildings. We have one apartment in Hempstead, particularly 1400 Fulton Avenue, that has nothing for seniors there. And in that apartment building, when the electric go out, we don't have any generators. Therefore, the elevators is not operative. And the people that's on wheelchairs and walkers cannot get in and out of the building. Some of them have breathing apparatus where they need to be plugged in, so they are stuck in that building. And I really feel bad for them, and I wish you guys would really please consider to look at some kind of way to help these seniors get some kind of backup generators in that particular building. I appreciate any help you guys can do for us.
Mr. Lofton, have you been to the village of Hempstead?
I went to everybody in the state of New York, and everybody is pushing us under the rug.
What was the response of the village? I mean, obviously they have the building code, they could do this if they want.
They're telling us it's not in our hand. Come back over here. I've been over here. I've been out on your front stoop. I had a news team out there. Everybody's pushing us under the rug. Meantime, our seniors are in there really suffering. And I mean,
I understand. Look, I understand that they may want us to do it, but the village of Hempstead does have the power to do this if they want. I'm over here, by the way. I know it's hard to.
Okay, I see you now.
The village does have the power to do this if they want. So, I think you should actually speak to the mayor, speak to the trustees, and say, go ahead and do it. I mean, they're saying, well, Nassau should do it. Regardless if Nassau does it or not, the village has the power to do it. Your locality, your local government, you should hold them accountable.
Excuse me, presiding officer. Hold on. Legislator Ford. Right here.
Ms. Halls, hi, Denise Ford. You know, I have to say that thank you then for coming here and once again addressing that. And as you know, I've been to a number of the tenant association meetings, especially during the budget time, and they're looking for the fee increase, whether or not they're going to increase the rents. Please call my office and get in touch with me because I'll help you write a letter. I didn't realize how bad the problem was. It has been spoken about at various meetings. I know not only in Hempstead, but there was an issue up at Great Neck and one of the other buildings up there as well. So whatever I could do, I would be more than happy to help you because you know I've always advocated for the tenants. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That made my day. Thank you guys so much.
Mr. Lofton, before, right here, right over here.
Okay, I got you.
Okay. The only reason why the county doesn't get involved is primarily because we don't have a building department, but the town of Hempstead and the rest of the towns do. So they're the ones who should be addressing this. But again, if you need assistance from any of us to move the dime, then we'll certainly be happy to assist you. I'm trying to get the town to do what it should do. Okay, Legislator Bynum.
Thank you, presiding officer. Good afternoon, Mr. Lofton.
Good afternoon.
I want to address your concerns as I thought I did initially by meeting with you. Actually, it was New York Community for Change that actually really gave me the idea to implement or to introduce legislation that would speak to that very issue, that would require all towns and villages within the county of Nassau to have a law that would be enacted that would require building owners that house frail and elderly individuals to have backup generators to make sure that the elevators operated during electrical outages. That law was introduced some time ago. I wish somebody could give me the date when I introduced that legislation, but it has to be over at least an 8-month period. So Legislator Ford, who has vowed today to assist you, could assist you very easily by working with the majority there to make sure this legislation actually meets the floor and that it's vetted and that we are able to actually move forward with actually approving it. This legislation has been introduced. It's there. The remedy is that easy. We just need to bring it to the floor and it needs to be voted on. And the reason why the village of Hempstead, this wouldn't just solve the issue if the village of Hempstead implemented this legislation, is because this issue doesn't just exist in the village of Hempstead. This issue exists in Long Beach, to Westbury, to Newcastle, straight out to Great Neck, and throughout Nassau County. So this is a county-wide issue, not a village of Hempstead issue. So when the majority would acknowledge that and look at the legislation that was crafted and put on record and filed with the county attorney's office, the county clerk's office, I think we would all be a better off county for that. Thank you.
Thanks, Eric. Thanks again, everyone. Appreciate all your help.
Okay, Deborah Noma, is it? Yes, Deborah.
Hi, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak about the pet grooming license. I have been a dog groomer for 42 years. I've owned my shop for 23 years. I have many clients that are third-generation dogs that I've been grooming, and I feel that this license will put a lot of small dog grooming shops out of business and will focus on the large box stores such as Petco and PetSmart that train their groomers for 6 weeks and then they put them in a shop, their shops, and they are unexperienced. And I get calls at least 3 times a week from people that have had their dogs groomed at these places and they are unsatisfied. And on the other side of the coin, the expenses that I myself as a small business have, I'm legal, I pay my taxes, I have rent, I have utilities, I have all types of insurance costs, and for me to have to pay $600 every year to have a license to groom, when there are no guidelines to tell me what I'm supposed to do and how my shop is supposed to be set up, will just cause me to close my doors and leave Nassau County. And I am a Suffolk County resident. I do not live in Nassau County. I travel 40 minutes every day to come to Nassau County to, offer my services to your residents.